Hello everyone, Casanis here, and this is a video response to MRoy008's Minecraft Charcoal Factory in 30 Seconds video. Basically in his video, what he does is he converts wood, which I'm holding in my hand right now, into charcoal and uses it as a fuel source, and he built this little factory in order to do so. After watching his video, I suggested to him that there was a more simplistic way of doing it. He currently uses, and you guys will be able to watch his video because I'll include a link in the description of my video here. He currently uses a piston system, and the piston itself is used to activate a dropper, and that dropper then feeds a furnace with the charcoal. Very, very similar to what I have here. However, there's no reason to actually use a piston in order to create a switch. What we're using for our switch is simply an item entering this hopper here. Whenever an item, in our case it's going to be charcoal, enters this hopper, it's going to activate this comparator, which in turn actuates or causes this inverter to be activated, and in turn it's going to activate this dropper. This dropper then spits everything up into this hopper, and the hopper refills the furnace. So basically we've got a loop here. We add wood to the top, we add some little bit of starter fuel, some kind of coal or something like that, and afterwards the system feeds itself. So let me just show you how it works really simply. I'm going to add into here, bam, I'm going to add in there 64 wood. I'm going to come down here, you can see the furnace itself filling, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one piece of charcoal, just like that. That piece of charcoal gets the entire system going. Now, watch what happens. Each time a piece of charcoal is created, we get this comparator activating. Bam, bam. And that in turn caused this dropper to spit out the charcoal into this hopper, which in turn refilled this area. And there's our charcoal right there. Watch, we're going to have one come in right now. There's two. So this is kind of an endless loop. And it works pretty well. I'm not really sure why you'd build something like this. I guess if you... you had a lot of time, we're cutting down a lot of trees, and we're able to cut down trees and really need the fuel source. But at this point in the game, you usually got a lot of charcoal. It does save you from having to go through and mine for coal. So I guess in that way, it's pretty good. This system here is much less resource intensive than the one that MRoy you currently have. And it's soundless. It makes absolutely no noise. It's completely silent. So that's the real benefit to it. You don't require a piston, and you don't have to hear the chunk chunk every time the piston goes off to activate this dropper right here. Now, this is a pretty ghetto system. You have this ugliness kind of sticking up above the floor in your base or whatever you're going to do. Very similar to exactly what MRoy's done. You're going to have a bunch of ugliness sticking out in your base. You don't want that. So I built this less ghetto system over here. So basically, this works exactly the same way. We've got ourselves a feeder chest, and we've got ourselves a collector chest. And let me just get rid of this and show you. So basically, that's all you're going to see on your floor. And let me go around here, actually. So basically, this works exactly the same way. What we've got going on is we've got the feeder chest, which comes down through a hopper and feeds the top of the furnace. And the top of the furnace, of course, is where you're going to feed things like blocks, etc. That, in turn, is going to spit out charcoal. And whenever, it works exactly the same way, whenever charcoal comes in here, it activates this comparator, which in turn activates this block, and goes through this repeater here, just to make the signal stronger. It'll only, whenever you have one piece of charcoal show up, it'll only activate one block in front of that comparator, obviously, which this repeater then increases the signal and allows this dropper chain, so I've basically got a dropper chain here, to be activated and spit the charcoal up into our collector chest. That collector chest then goes through a double hopper system and refeeds our furnace. Now, the benefit of this system, of course, other than the fact that you're not going to see it, let me just cover it up again, because your floor is going to look like, your floor is going to look like this in your base and not have all this crap that's underneath it hanging out, because I can't stand it when people can see redstone. It's really embarrassing for me. So in this situation, you're going to fill in that spot. You're going to fill in this spot here too. Bam, just like that. So in this situation, this is what your base is going to look like. You're going to see two simple chests. You're going to see one that's the feeder chest and one that's a collector chest. The benefit of this system, besides the fact that you can't see all the redstone, is of course that as you collect excess charcoal, it'll stay up inside of this chest here, so you can just come walking up and say hello, and you can just pick it up right there. So your furnace itself will actually collect 64 fuel sources, so 64 charcoal, and the remainder of it will remain up here for you to collect and use elsewhere to build torches, etc. Now, both of these systems do have an issue. That issue is that anytime you remove something from an automatic system like this, like if you remove something from the furnace automatically through a hopper dropper chain or anything like that, you forego the experience gain from smelting. So if you're willing to do so, then this is actually quite an interesting system. So let's take a look now. I'm just going to open this up. I'm going to toss in here 64 and another 13. It's of course going to immediately start flowing down, and I will add a single piece of charcoal in here to start the system going. It works exactly the same way. We're going to see the comparator actuate. It's going to go off right in a second. There we go. The whole thing went off. This dropper chain actually went off as well. And if we look inside here, there's our charcoal. There's the additional one. And if we watch for a second, we'll see another one come through. Now, once we've actually collected 64 in here, the remainder will show up in the chest up here on the surface. Okay, everybody, so that is the end of this video. Short and sweet, just a simple response to MRoy008's Charcoal Factory in 30 seconds. The description is in the link. It is below. Sorry, the link is in the description below. Take a look at his system. Take a look at these. You guys use whichever one you want. Perfectly fine, whichever one you decide to do. They will both accomplish the same thing. All right, everybody, have yourselves a great day.